Hi, I'm Tom Cruise.
Obviously. And I'm Chris McQuarrie.
Well, obviously. And we're talking to you from the set of Top Gun Maverick.
We're very proud to present Mission Impossible Fallout, and we want you to enjoy it to the fullest possible effect, just as you would in a theater.
To that end, we'd like a moment of your time to talk to you about video interpolation.
Video interpolation, or motion smoothing, is a digital effect on most high-definition televisions and is intended to reduce motion blur in sporting events and other high-definition programming.
The unfortunate side effect is that it makes most movies look like they were shot on high-speed video rather than film. Now, this is sometimes referred to as the soap opera effect.
Without a side-by-side comparison, many people can't quite put their finger on why the movie they're watching looks strange.
Most HD TVs come with this feature already on by default, and turning it off requires navigating a set of menus with interpolation often referred to by another brand name.
If you own a modern high-definition television, there's a good chance you're not watching movies the way the filmmakers intended, and the ability to do so is not simple for you to access.
Filmmakers are working with manufacturers to change the way video interpolation is activated on your television, giving you easier access and greater choice over when to use this feature.
Meanwhile, a quick internet search should provide you with step-by-step instructions on how to quickly disable the feature so that you can enjoy the movie you're about to see exactly as the filmmakers intended.
On behalf of everyone who works so hard to bring you the very best motion picture experience, thank you very much for listening.
Enjoy.
Hello.
And welcome to Film Bastards.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 475 of Film Bastards. Excuse me. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I am joined by
Becky Foster. Hello, everybody.
I'm Matt Foster. Hello, everybody.
Hello, one and all. Happy New Year. We hope you had a enjoyable, fun New Year, ready to roll into the drudgery that is January 2023. Coming up on this week's show, our first review of the year is Noah Baumbach's adaptation of Don DeLillo's American classic White Noise. And that's the only main review. We'll have some what we've been watching, trailer talk, news and whatnot. We're also going to be doing a kind of like a general amuse-bouche of like a 2023 preview. It's going to be a little bit ramshackle, to be honest. We're just going to kind of like talk about some of the stuff that we've been that we're looking forward to. A bit of a extrapolation on the question that we had towards the end of last week's show about most anticipated films. So I put together a spreadsheet to organise the show a little bit going into the new year and kind of like our Patreon, and I'm planning on doing Shite or Sound that I talked about a couple of weeks back, and kind of plugging up that all in. And there's a lot of stuff planned for next year, whether dated or not at this point. And we're just going to have a kind of like a general talk through some of the stuff that we're looking forward to in 2023. So strap in. Might be a longer one. We'll see how we go. Even though maybe some sections might be shorter than usual, we'll see. I mean, fuck off, it's free. If you're bothered by the runtime, why are you here? But if you're not, then strap in and get ready for us to tickle your balls. Patreon.com/filmbastards for bonus content, including our Guy Ritchie marathon. I don't know why I said it like that, marathon, but marathon, where we just discussed The Gentleman. We're going to be finishing up next week with Wrath of Man, and then, my friends, get ready to smoke one up with us. Yep. What are we getting out? We're getting the bong. Oh, that dank Bong Joon-ho. And we are very much looking forward to that.
Yep, hit from the bong.
Bex, are you looking forward to that one?
Bong Joon-ho?
Yeah.
Yes, I am, yeah. I'm a fan of the vast majority of his films, and I'm hoping to be proved not wrong, because I can't remember whether I liked it or not.
Ocha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's probably just...
Well, I'm glad...
I think I was going through maybe a bit of a Tilda Swinton thing when we watched it, of not liking her. I think that might have coloured my opinion.
Yeah, possibly.
I am a bit like that.
Yeah, you are a little bit
Bit
like
of
that.
a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm probably wrong.
I mean, I'm glad you're looking forward to something, Bex. That's all I can say. So,
I look forward to loads of things.
sorry.
All right,
That's a reference to... No, not at all. It's a reference to something that we will never talk about on the show. Okay, so I don't think there's been too much news-wise. I mean, Avatar's still making all the money, but Mafregan is projected to do around 20 in the US this weekend.
Yep.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Obviously, that thing is going to have 100 times multiplier and make $2 billion in the US alone. So, I mean, it's going to be a fantastic start. But yeah. After me being a misery on last week's show, getting that 2023 schedule looked at, I'm feeling a lot more positive, and with that kind of news, absolutely. Also, I mean, it's worth calling out Avatar in its third weekend, a 0% drop in the US. I mean, that's nuts.
It's kind of impressive, yeah.
Fair fucking play. But, you know, Babylon only dropped about 20%. It made fuck all in its opening weekend, but at least it only dropped 20 or so. And let's see how these things pan out. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, I mean, news-wise, I kind of feel like we've got other stuff to talk about this on this week's show, unless you guys had anything in particular to speak on.
No, there's nothing come up in news, I don't think. I think
Christmas and New Year happened, so they didn't really bother having any news.
Fair. Okay, so let's talk about some trailers. I'll be honest, I think I've only got one, and it was the one that came out today as we record.
We did a bit of a trailer watch before the show, just so we they're fresh in our memory, and we've got two. So
okay,
the one that you're thinking, and we also watched the trailer for the Gerard Butler movie Plane.
Oh, you have seen the trailer for Plane?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I keep forgetting Gerard Butler's a thing, and then he'll be like in a trailer for something that I could watch, but I'm not really that pumped for, and then I'll forget about him again.
The most surprising thing about the trailer for Plane is the fact that this movie is getting released in cinemas. And you kind of watch it going, really? This movie?
It feels like a pandemic special, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for listeners. I've just turned down my voice on the audio track because it being me, I was peaking like a motherfucker. So if I sound a little bit different now, it's because I'm trying to help your ears. Yeah. It is stunning that this is getting released in a cinema, but I'm also here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I will happily go and watch that of a Tuesday evening in the cinema.
Yeah.
It's that kind of one. You know, I'm going to double check. I'm looking now and thinking, ooh, I bet that's a tasty fucking 102 minutes or something like that. Which means you go watch it, then go for 1 hour 47, Gerard. No. There better be a fucking Geostorm in this one, you prick. Yeah. Fucking
yeah, but like 12 minutes of credits.
Yeah, 12 minutes of credits that's just fucking... just thanking all the people that managed to get this fucker made.
It needs to start with 20 different production company logos, including some tax shelter organisation, and then just say Plane, and then start, and then not like have no opening titles, and then have 12 minutes of credits at the back end. That's what this needs to do.
Yeah. Be really, really fucking serious.
Yeah. Like, yeah, just white text on black. Plane. Small as well. Like, usually I'd want it big, but I want this to be somber.
Really small and like in the bottom right-hand corner.
Oh, fuck. That's that meme of like the guy, Vince McMahon going through the various stages of brain explosion. Like, that's the end there, like, in the bottom right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one is, the trailer for a movie that I forgot was even happening.
So, I mean, it's on the schedule, Mark, for week commencing Monday the 24th of April. We'll be talking about this one. Evil Dead Rise.
I'm going to say I am in for this. However, I'm very in for it because it looks like it's throwing an awful lot at the screen, which I dig. It does look like they have a horror movie and then they basically slapped the Evil Dead book in it so they could call it Evil Dead something.
They've Cloverfield University.
They have Cloverfield, this motherfucker,
yeah. But the movie that's there behind it looks like a fucking banger.
Yep, all for it.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, that bit where she's on the headphones and then the hatch opens and she's just crawling down the wall.
Yep.
Creepy as fuck.
Go on.
I'm a little worried it might be a bit too much for me, guys, I'll be honest. I'm going to watch it, obviously, but
Did it get to you, Ian?
Little bit. It looks like it's really, really playing on the Deadites tormenting people, and that's absolutely fine, but tormenting a young kid, fuck.
Yeah, more.
Yeah, I know you do.
I hope it bites her fucking head off.
Wow, Mark.
The thing is, like, when the teaser to the trailer came out yesterday, I saw a couple of people going, okay, so they've basically done Demons 2. And it doesn't look like that, because it looks like it's going to be very, very focused on this family.
Yeah. If you look at the cast list, there's hardly any other cast.
And yeah, I mean, this was shot during COVID, you know, and I mean, it was originally supposed to be HBO Max, but they've given it a theatrical, like Magic Mike's Last Dance. So absolutely fair play and fully supportive of that. Like, it would have been cool if it was Deadites tormenting a whole apartment block. Like that's my thing here.
Yeah.
I think that if it was more Demons 2, I would have been up for that.
Yeah, because Demons 2 is a fucking good time.
Yeah, that film fucks. But at the same time, I think the mum being possessed and then her sister and the sister's niece going against her. Like, that's an interesting premise. Also, there was that one shot of kind of like the Evil Dead cam outside the apartment block. So, like, hopefully there'll be some of that as well. I mean, it's directed by Lee Cronin, who directed that film that I didn't see, Irish film. I think it came out pre-COVID, where there's like a big hole and a kid goes into it and then they come out and they've changed.
The Hole in the Ground.
I can't remember what it was. It was literally called The Hole in the Ground. I was doing a little bit of a bus that wouldn't slow down moment. But okay, it is actually called The Hole in the Ground. All right. Which I'm informed.
Sounds quite interesting, actually.
It feels like they've got someone who really gives a shit making it. So why not? I've got a feeling it's going to be a super thanks I hate it from my perspective. But hey, I'm up for watching it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Just based upon the fact that the trailer made me go, that looks fucking icky.
Yeah, I like icky.
That looks icky, and also, I'm gonna be honest, that fucking Deadite's kind of attractive.
Icky and children Icky and children in peril are both areas you're fairly keen for.
Yeah. Boner Jams 2023.
I just need to see what the fuck Noel just meant there. Oh, wow. Okay, fair enough. It was literally called that.
Yeah.
Okay. Rating 40. Like, Sorry. Oh, hello, Lottie wants something. Hey, babe, you alright?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You've got your roller skate protective gear on. You're going to do some skating in the living room. Yeah?
Not outside because it's dark right
Not outside because it's dark right now. High five. Have fun. Good to see you.
Okay.
Bye-bye, babe. Alright, have fun.
Also, I can still, do this to land.
Okay, that's
I
good.
think this is just to keep down
Sorry,
the
guys.
impact and...
Okay. Oh, it's to keep the... Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you're in that gear. It makes me have less heart palpitations. All right, have fun, babe. Love you. Lot's got roller skates. And yeah, I've not been fucking freaking out about that at all. Yeah, did you hear that? Did that come up on the mic? Yeah, okay, well done. Yeah, she's a cheeky one. Anyway, sorry, where were we?
I think we were just getting to the
sorry.
end of the trailers.
Yeah,
We've run out of
I
trailers.
think we were. But yeah, just to say, the Renfield trailer debuts tomorrow as we record this, so we'll talk about that next week.
Nice.
Yeah, I really, really like that we're starting to get into a cadence where every kind of Wednesday a trailer kind of comes out pre-show. It feels like that's going to gear up more and more now, like it used to.
Feels like they're doing it for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if they were doing it for us, they could have done Renfield, but hey, you can't have everything. All right, so let's move on. We're moving like a train full of explosive chemicals at the moment, but we'll be slowing down. We'll be slowing down.
Like a train full of explosive chemicals that's been crashed into by a truck.
Absolutely.
Terrific.
Absolutely. Yes. Good. White Noise is directed by Noah Baumbach and stars Adam Driver, Greta Gerwig, Rafi Cassidy, and Don Cheadle. IMDb says, it starts off quite hardcore. Dramatizes a contemporary American family's attempts to deal with the mundane conflicts of everyday life while grappling with the universal mysteries of love, death, and the possibility of happiness in an uncertain world.
That's fair.
So, yeah, probably is actually.
Vague, but fair.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty hard to describe this film in a sentence, though, isn't it? I think. Anyway. So, I talked about this when it played LFF. I rewatched it last night, but I'm going to cede the floor to Mark and Becky generally. I think exactly the same as I did the first time round, actually. My opinion has not changed at all. This film has got some really, really good stuff in it. It's also got some rough stuff in it, which unfortunately for me is more towards the second half of it. But I'm keen to see what you guys thought, because Noah Baumbach is not really on your wavelengths, if memory serves. So, Mark, what do you think to White Noise?
With the exception of the De Palma documentary that Baumbach made, which was very good, I think it might be my favourite Noah Baumbach movie. I think helped by the fact
surprise me.
Helped by the fact that it's not, it's an adaptation. So it's not in some way based upon some kind of fucking thing from his life.
Yeah.
So it still has
it's curtailed the Baumbachiness of it a bit.
Yeah, it very much has curtailed the Baumbachiness of it. But also as well, I actually the criticism that I've often had of Baumbach movies is that he's always at pains to show he's the smartest one in the room, and they all look like he's doing a shitty impression of an 80s Woody Allen movie. Whereas this is a good-looking movie. I'm baffled as to... People got paid for this movie. That is the only way that you could call it $100 million movie.
Yeah, people
But
made
it's
some
fucking-
serious.
I mean, 140 million.
140 million.
And yes,
People got
people
paid.
got paid because they don't get a back end.
Yeah, because they don't get a back end. But even I can't even buy they don't get a back end because this movie wouldn't have made anywhere near enough money to give people a back end, and everybody knows that. So I'm filing it into a different type of this is some kind of maybe not tax dodge or anything like that, but this is people had things on people for this for that. But I enjoyed it. It's once 10 minutes in, the first 5 or so minutes, I was going, right, okay, what's going on here? And then once I got the rhythm and the cadence of it, and my brain went, oh, okay, this has got a patter and a rhythm of something akin to Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
That, all right, this is set this one, but this this film is not trying to make you think that people actually speak like this.
No.
I was all right with it then. I was engaged with it, and I was kind of on board from that point on. And also, I was.
Well, I think the fact that part of it thematically is about people's difficulty separating reality from pop culture and what they see on screen and things like that. I think the beat that the dialogue has to it and the way that it's performed helps with that. It's like it feeds into it.
Yeah, and I was palpably aware whilst I was watching it, going, oh, I haven't read the book. You've read the book, Ian, and you were a big fan, weren't you?
Yeah, I am a wanker and studied it as part of my American literature module in uni.
And I think, have you read it, Becca?
No.
I thought you read it. Sorry, but I was very much like when I was watching, going, oh, I might be off bat, but I can imagine how this would read. And that's not a criticism of the film. It's quite the opposite. I'm putting it out there as an actual kind of a positive for that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's in any way. It's not going to trouble like my top 10 or anything like that. But I was very pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed spending time with it. It's it's Baumbach leaning more into his Wes Andersoniness.
Yeah.
Than leaning into his, his Woody Alleniness that he can have there. But I would happily take more of this Baumbach than I would do. I will watch this more often than I will watch any Wes Anderson movie.
Fair enough.
Because I will watch this again because I had fun with it.
Yeah.
I think the kids are all very entertaining in it.
Yeah.
I think Driver is very good in it. Cheadle just about gets away with it.
He doesn't for me.
Pardon?
He don't for me.
Does he not for you?
No.
I think Cheadle's could be a little bit like that. I think Don Cheadle tricked people into thinking he was a very good actor with Boogie Nights, and has never quite ever got as good as that again. But people still think that he's a really good actor because of that, and I think he's a mediocre performer.
I think he's just he's like all of the performances are exaggerated
Yeah.
in a stylized kind of way, like it works, but his is too much, it's too exaggerated for me.
I don't think Gerwig's very good.
No, she's painfully bad for 85% of her screen time.
But when she's good, she's very good. That's the weird thing. She's not bad throughout it. But a lot of time I thought, right, you're playing dress up. But then when she's good, she's really fucking good. But there was too much of it where I felt a little bit like she was almost looking down on the character and was just having a little bit of playing dress up.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't get that from Driver.
Look at me dressed up as a housewife.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Yeah. I think...
So yeah, but I'd say when she's good, she's really good in it. Yeah, I'm very pleasantly surprised. What were you that like Bex? Because I think you like some of Baumbach's stuff, don't you?
Do I? Do I?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I thought you got on with some of it more than me. You don't have a visceral reaction against him.
No. No, that's true.
If you met him, you'd be quite pleasant to him. I'd probably call him a cunt.
No, do you know what? I thought it was very good. I thought it was very similar to you. I thought Adam Driver and the kids were really good. I thought the kind of what was it? Airborne toxic event would be a bit more of a main character.
Yeah, but I like that it won.
But then I was quite like, oh, okay. So that it's not about that.
Yeah.
Because the trailers kind of make out like it is about that. Like that's the central crux, and it's not. It's about the very human fear of mortality. So it's
the airborne toxic event is done 64 minutes into a 138-minute film.
Yeah. I dig that. When that disappeared, I was like, oh, all right, cool.
It does feel a little bit self-important, and I don't know whether tonally that's coming from the book or not, because obviously I've not read it.
I can forgive the movie for that, though, with this. Because I get it. I get the indulgence, and I think I was in on it. I was along for the ride enough that the indulgences didn't piss me off.
Yeah.
And there was some very nice shots in it.
Yeah. But yeah, I wish she'd been better in it, because I found that kind of pulling me out of the story quite a lot of the time. How amdrammy her performance was for most of the time. And then I was kind of, when she did the whole bit where she explains to Adam Driver about being on the Dialar and what it's for and her condition and all this kind of stuff, and they have that whole conversation, for about 5 minutes after that her performance is better.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, so evidently it's a choice that's been made, that this is how she is because she's on the medication and because she's wrestling with this big secret, and now that it's out, she's gonna not be as shit. And then she just goes back to being shit again. But then there's, like you say, there's little sunbeams that come through from her performance where she's not. Like the bit where they're in the hospital with the nuns, it's a much more natural performance from her. And the bit where they're kind of packing the guy up to go in the car, and he says something really batshit, and they're just both like, he's like, okay, and she's like, sure, whatever. And then they just kind of carry on putting him in the car, and it's like, there's bits that feel more natural, but for the majority, it is very, very amdram.
She suffers from one of those things she purposefully tries to be quirky.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Driver could just play quirky quite well. I think you mentioned it, Ian. There's a whiff of Partridge to him at points.
Yeah, it's distracting how Partridgey he is. I'm assuming Noah Baumbach has no idea what Alan Partridge is.
I have a feeling that Noah Baumbach definitely knows what Partridge is.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I just it felt like a weird. Yeah, I don't know. I just had some cognitive dissonance at moments of the film. But I mean, like some of the conversations here, which are like kind of ripped from the book, I mean, are brilliant though. I mean, where he's being tested for the airborne toxic event at the evacuation place, and it's like the computer simulation, and it's just like, well, you know, this hasn't written like I don't know, I'm paraphrasing, but the guy's just like, the data hasn't really run the way that we wanted it to, because we wanted it to run
like a simulation.
Like exactly. Yeah.
And Travis,
you know,
but wait, this is real.
And just that concept of the Noaprene whatever living in you past when you're dead. You know, and it's like we'll know much more in like 30 years. you know, and it's
that whole sequence there felt very Brazil.
Absolutely. But I mean, it's I don't know. I find from after the airborne toxic event, where it gets into the Dylar stuff, I still kind of click out of it a little bit while he's going through his investigation. But then when they like that scene at the church or like wherever it is with the nuns, I think is fantastic. And just that whole point of, you know, getting through life and things might be mundane and stuff, but if you've got people around you that you feel connected with, you know, you'll be okay. There's no point thinking about the bigger stuff because what can you do about it? That I find an odd kind of peace in that, and I very much relate to that. You know, of you know, the shit in our lives that is actually quite vacuous, but can mean something to us as well. Like the supermarket, like Don Cheadle talking about how he finds the A&P like comforting and whatnot. It's like, I get that, because if you just worry about the bigger things that you've got no effect on constantly,
you drive yourself insane.
You are going to have you're going to have a miserable life.
Yeah, and
I feel like that's something a lot of people, especially people who are very, very online, probably need to understand. You know, yes, the world is a shit place for a number of reasons. There's also only so much that you, in your individual power, can do about it, and that's okay.
Yeah, and it is.
Which is an odd moral, but I get it.
Yeah, and there's also the element of, do you know what? Yes, going to the supermarket is ostensibly a mundane act, but it's something pretty much everybody has to do in their day-to-day lives. So why can't you take some form of enjoyment? We actually quite enjoy it at the supermarket.
I love
don't
going
we?
to the supermarket.
Yeah,
it's well exciting.
But it's such a mundane thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
That it in theory it should be a chore, and it can be, but we're also quite enjoy it sometimes.
Yeah. See, I struggled with that element of this movie, to be honest, because I do go into like periods of full on fucking existential dread about like dying and losing people and stuff like that I struggle to pull myself out of. Like, I could probably do with some Dylar sometimes.
You see,
whereas you're weirdly fucking... See, I think that's hiding deeper waters, though.
It's definitely not. I am. If we can say one thing, Becky, I'm not that deep. I'm very shallow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't. If you were wearing canvas shoes, your feet wouldn't get wet.
That's the thing. I'm with you there though, Bex, because it's like I either need to die in my sleep or it needs to be a massive surprise that's over real quick. Like those are my two. Those are my two. And it's
the thought of just like winking out of existence that terrifies me.
I want to go so I can literally go fair play. Alright, and go. This side goes. All right, I'm alright with that.
I don't think you would in reality.
I think I would.
I don't think you would.
Come on.
Anyway, this is getting...
Mark, I'm
going to end up
I know this is getting very dark, but Mark, I feel like you wouldn't deal with the diagnosis of something terminal very well. I don't think I would either. I don't think you would. I think you need to die triumphantly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Backwards and on fire.
Backwards and on fire.
Anyway, can we change the subject?
I mean, that's very good.
From death. That would be great.
Yeah, sorry. But that's the thing. I find the end of this film that culminates with the LCD sound system, like sequence at the end, I find that oddly profound, even though it's emphatically not profound. There's just something in that. Just, it's all right to enjoy being with people you like being with and doing mundane shit.
Yeah, it's an
You don't need to be doing Hitler studies to enjoy life. You know.
Yeah, it's oddly upbeat.
Sorry. Yeah.
I like that it finishes on like a little, not like a dance sequence as such, but like kind of a little bit of a dance sequence, and it's like my brain just went, the ballet of everyday life.
Yeah,
is what it said to me.
But there is that element.
And
But
it
yeah,
is that.
yeah,
It is. It's the dance we do.
Yeah, it's quite.
And it's
chirpy
not-
ending.
Yeah,
But
and
it's
they've
not
learned
looking
to find...
down.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, yeah, I mean, it's not looking down on it. It is just like, take some pleasure from this.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
I was just going to say that they've learned, instead of worrying, you know, they say don't sweat the small stuff. In this case, it's don't sweat the big stuff. Enjoy the small stuff. Stop torturing your fucking self. And they've learned to do that with each other and their family, and it's quite a nice ending.
But then you also have Andre 3000 just with a box of cookies, just bending down, shaking, standing up, bending down, standing up, with a smile on his face, which is great.
Yeah.
I almost wish that literally that while he's doing that, a speech bubble just came out of his mouth and it just went, "There will be a new Outcast album in 2023." Just that's how they announced it. None of this cryptic fucking tweets shit.
It's like there's, in this 2 hour, 20-minute film, there's a half-hour section of it that I'm not into. And that, you know, and that's a not insignificant chunk, but the rest of it I really vibe with. And that's not for nothing. And just the sheer scope of the film, it feels like Baumbach's breathing, and obviously he's got the budget and he's using it, and it feels very of a time and place, like the production value of it. I'm not entirely sure it's $140 million, but it's a good deal of money.
Yeah.
And it you know, it looks good, it sounds good. Danny Elfman's score is very, very good.
Yeah. It's very much
Yeah.
a Danny Elfman score.
But it's not like
No. It's not a Danny Elfman Tim Burton score.
Sorry, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's one of his good ones.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm very happy that you guys liked it as much as you did,
Yeah.
even if there are reservations.
Yeah. And I'm glad that I enjoyed it.
I was worried you wouldn't, to be fair.
Yeah, I was worried that
So was I.
I'd watch it and I'd not enjoy it, and I'd just come across as a little bit like I'm just being miserable because it's a Noah Baumbach movie. So I'm very glad that I can now say, do you know what? I actually like a Noah Baumbach movie. It's the movie that no one else of his seems to like. But
It's not being well received.
mixed, I would say at best.
Yeah, very mixed.
Yeah, I would say that Baumbach fans don't seem to have enjoyed it as much as his other stuff.
Well, next he's co-written Barbie, so
Yep.
let's see how that goes.
And
I
the
really
only thing,
hope that's good.
and the thing that's making me go, do you know what? He did co-write Madagascar 3.
He did. Europe's Most Wanted, baby.
Fucking good film is that? Have you ever
Fucking
seen
good
Madagascar
film.
3?
No, I don't like the Madagascar.
You don't need to. Because you don't need to at all.
You don't need to.
But Madagascar
No.
3 literally starts the way that you imagine. It's basically, imagine what an energy drink would do to a child's brain.
Yeah.
That is the opening 35 minutes of Madagascar 3. It starts like you've already been watching it for 20 minutes. It's bonkers.
But I feel like you probably need to have watched the other
Nope. Nope,
No, not at all.
not at all. We'll watch it one time. Because it's weirdly fun.
two. Yeah.
Yeah. Our audience poll on White Noise is definitely not shit 40%, and shit 60%, with a caveat of Rick Kidd saying, I voted shit, but really it's Suspiria.
I mean, yeah, fair play, Rick. Wow, that's a reaction. And fair play.
Yeah, that's fair, I think.
Yeah, I can see why it would rub people up the wrong way.
Hey Hannah, I think you really can't beat a good rewatch of a TV show. Would you agree with that, love?
Oh, yes, I would.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think during, global pandemics, storms, all of these things, it's quite nice to just sit down and burn through something that you've seen a million times.
Absolutely, nothing like a binge watch.
Star Trek.
Babylon 5.
Because you could sit there for hours looking at serial killer documentaries.
Absolutely, that doesn't
Netflix.
make you a weird person at all.
It doesn't. Yeah, you could watch documentaries that all seem to be about women killing men.
Love you, darling.
You could put off watching Daredevil for the 30th time.
Harry Potter.
But really, you can't beat immersing yourself in the warm jumper of a rewatch of a show or a franchise.
Beloved franchise.
A beloved franchise.
Lord of the Rings.
Twin Peaks. From VHS compilations recorded off television with the ad breaks, cut out of course, to DVD box sets of Sex and the City and, I don't know, Smallville.
Farscape.
Quantum Leap. To giving up finding new content on Netflix and just having a comfort trawl through Star Trek The Next Generation or Parks and Recreation. I think that we can all agree.
There's a lot to be said for that.
You can't beat a good rewatch. So, with that in mind, join
Hannah
and Mike from Chinstroker vs. Punter as we burn through some of our favourite franchises and share our immediate reactions to each instalment in both spoiler and non-spoiler sections. To do that, do a search for the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whichever your favourite podcast provider may be, or go directly to anchor.fm/rewatch project. We are proud members of the Pod Syndicate family of podcasts.
So, that's White Noise. Let's move on. Let's do some what we've been watching, and then we can gauge how much time we've got for 2023 discussion.
Yeah.
So, Mark, Bex, who wants to kick off?
Should we kick off with what you watch solo? Because I've only got one solo, but we've got two that we watched together.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I've watched a couple solo. So there's not really an awful lot to talk about. It's the It documentary that was made relatively recently. Pennywise, the story of it, just going into obviously the making of the superior version of the adaptation, which is the miniseries.
The miniseries.
Yeah. We've got a lot of cast interviews, which is really nice. Didn't realise until very recently that the girl that plays Beverly Marsh is also the girl that plays the sister in Ginger Snaps. That really weirded me out when I realised that. Well, look at your confused little face.
Try to add up numbers to work out how the fuck does that add up with age?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah. So
how does that work?
where is she?
I don't know where she is. Probably in America somewhere. Emily Perkins, of course it is. Yeah. Wow. Fair play.
So yeah, that weirded me out, and there's quite a bit of Tim Curry in it as well, and he doesn't normally do huge amounts of interviews, obviously, anymore.
No, but he was very much on board with this, wasn't he?
But it's very, very surface.
Oh.
And it's yeah, I wouldn't. It's interesting to watch if you're a fan. I think. I mean, there's no real reason why you would if you weren't, but you're also not going to learn an awful lot either. There's some nice sound.
I don't think you're going to learn an awful lot. Sorry, Bex.
There's just not a lot there. It's quite flimsy.
How long was it?
Hang on. Self.
It's over 2 hours.
Yeah. there's a lot, like, it talks a lot about the, like, if you're interested in practical effects and stuff like that, there's quite a bit in there about that kind of thing. But you know, and there's a fair bit about like the cast and how they kind of built the relationship between the kid cast with each other, and then between the kid cast and the adult cast, and so that there was
actually.
yeah, it's not bad. If you've read anything about the making of before or listened to anything about the making of before, it's nothing new.
Right.
But if you haven't, then there's probably quite a lot of like interesting stuff in there.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then I also rewatched Triple R.
I think Ian did as well.
I need to rewatch Elvis before the end of the year, because otherwise I think this might pip it. It is a glorious, magnificent. It's cinema in capital letters.
I think Ian's description of it as movie the movie is pretty much like spot on, spectacular.
It is just fucking fantastic. Like it's the scale of it is so massive. The performances are so good. The story is really good. It's Quentin Tarantinoing the shit out of the historical elements just by making shit up. But I love it. And then there's dancing and there's music. And...
Honestly, if they want to blow the fucking roof off the Oscars this year,
oh God, can you imagine?
Have what's it called again?
Natu. Have
that there. They should be on to these guys and going, please, we will give you. You don't just get 90 seconds of the song. You get the full fucking song, the full fucking stage. Just have that. To just even have just people going, what the shit is this? This is magnificent.
And there was. Do you remember, like a little while back, there was that thing going around on like social media platforms of it's like, what's your sexuality, and then it's just a specific person.
Yeah,
it's you could make a strong argument for what's your sexuality. The two male leads of Triple R, they are oozing like just complete magnetism in this. Like some of the faces that oh God, I can't remember his name. Not the guy that plays in that Beamer, the other guy,
I don't know,
the cop guy.
It, yeah.
Raju.
You are.
Raju.
Yeah.
So you got Beam and Raju. Yeah.
Some of the faces he fucking pulls, and it's it just I get it.
It's
just
and yeah. I mean, just because we're talking about RRR now, it's just. I mean, it's an incredible piece of work, you know, and it's funny because I watch 15s in front of lots. She's 9 now. She can fucking hack it. Like Donna is taken to just basically coming in while I'm watching a film and then just sitting there asking me questions about what's going on and then just watching the rest of it. So, like, she did that with Nope. Like, an hour in, she was like, okay, so what's happened here then? And then she just ends up watching it. And she kind of did it with RRR, but twice. So the first time round she did that. And then she did it again this time round. And then Lots was watching it as well. And we were just marvelling at how much the British are absolute bastards. And trying to explain to Lottie why we are cunts was something. But it was brilliant. We, this Bank Holiday Monday just gone, we went down my in-laws' caravan, and we were talking about what we've been up to, and Donna was just like, oh yeah, we I kind of partially watched. Ian was watching this film on Netflix, RRR, and my mother-in-law was just like, oh yeah, what's that? And Donna was just like, it's a 3-hour-long Indian film. And then, like, my mother-in-law was just like, oh. And Don was just like, it's incredible. It's just, it's like an Indian film. So they're singing, like, all the way through it. And at one point, someone just throws a tiger at someone else. And then my mother-in-law was like, oh, really? Okay, that sounds all right. It was just brilliant. 3-hour-long film, and I mean, yeah, and that's what Don takes from it is singing. Someone throws a tiger at someone, but yeah, that's as perfect a summation as RRR as I think you'll ever get. And the British are bastards.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, that's all you need to know. But I will say, RRR2 is in development. I kind of need Sita to get out of the picture and for there to be a love triangle between Jenny, Raju, and Akhtar. Because I'll be honest, right? During Natu Natu, all the other women are all in for Raju, and Jenny's in for Akhtar. And I'm sorry, but Jenny, you're a fucking idiot. Raju is the way. When he basically becomes Rambo at the end, Jesus wept.
Oh, I'd completely forgot about that whole sequence until he brought up the front cover where he goes to get him, but like the bad Englishman's broken his legs, so he's had to be having to be his legs and just carry him on his shoulders. That whole fucking sequence is amazing.
But just
Yeah.
the ingenuity to not only write that, but to get it to work and to be watching it going, this should be this is stupid, but it's not.
Yeah. And then that
This is
go on.
no. Please, Bex, go on. Sorry.
I was just gonna say just the fact that they end it with just a fucking dance sequence. It doesn't further the story anymore. It's not set as like part of. They're not at a party and they're doing a dance. It is just a fucking dance sequence for the sake of it, and it is. All films should end like that. More
There's a
people
part of
watch
me.
the
People
credits.
are like talk. Oh hell! I think people will do. It just there is a part of me that's just like it. It is really, really silly. This film is a really, really silly film, and people talking up its Oscar chances kind of feels like a hiding to nothing.
Yeah,
But
it could win Best International Feature.
Well, it can't though because India didn't nominate it.
Oh, you fucks!
So it can't be nominated. It can't be nominated for that because India didn't nominate it. But any other category, it's the Academy. So the thinking is Natu Natu could well get a Best Original Song nomination. It might not, but it could. There's people talking about S.S. Rajmouli getting Best Director and RRR getting Best Picture. It kind of almost feels like people are talking those up so that when it doesn't happen, they've got something else to moan about.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. I'd be very surprised if they get nominated, but it would be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like I'm not entirely sure it's a film that should be getting like a Best Picture or Best Director nomination. Like I'm not, because it's a big silly film. It's a big silly film.
However,
And again, so is Top Gun Maverick.
However, it's a big silly film, but you know, Avatar 2 is being talked about getting a nomination, and that's a bigger, sillier film.
Fuck. No, all right. No. And I'm turned round. But then again, it's like, do I think Avatar: The Way of Water should be getting those nominations? No, I don't.
I don't. But if it does,
in a world where
Triple R
Avatar is
doesn't.
getting them, RRR certainly can as well.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
it's more innovative than that movie,
Yeah.
without question,
Yeah.
and more
Absolutely,
joyous and more cinematic.
There needs to be a love triangle. Even though, then again, it would break my heart because they are the best of friends.
They are the best of friends.
But it's like, what do you do
Ian,
in
though,
RRR2?
what happens, right, when fire meets a storm?
I mean, it's a fair question, but I mean, it's like, what happens in RRR2 though? Because what conflict do you have for them? That was a pretty fucking nuclear conflict that those two had that they overcame.
All I know is that whatever we suspect is going to happen, it will not be that.
Yeah.
I just hope it's glorious.
Yeah.
They need to be teleported into today.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you know-
given that
do you
they're
know
both
what? Fuck
real
it.
people, there is scope there to use real life stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're real people who never actually met each other in real life.
Yeah, well, yeah. But if they can magic up a meeting, I'm sure they can work something out.
Yeah.
And also, one last thing on RRR. Probably I don't know, maybe the best character introduction I've ever seen is Akhtar, where he's standing with his back to camera, and it does that 360 swirl where you don't know whether the reflection is the right way up or not on him. That is fucking incredible. And there's just the green all around him. Incredible.
Oh, that
Yeah,
bit, that bit
RRR
where he
bangs.
tries to catch a wolf, but it's actually a tiger, and he's pulling the chains together as well. That's great. And then there's the bit with the child on the burning thing, and then they clasp hands.
That is fucking.
As they swing under the bridge.
That moment is like it's like there is literally that. You know when you were saying in your movie, that there. The only thing that could have possibly made that better is if literally the word cinema just started fucking flashing at you. Because if you don't have an absolute fucking goosebumps flutter when that happens, it's like, why
are you even watching
why
films?
are you even here?
Yeah.
I don't even mean to watching the movie. I mean like on the planet.
Wow.
Shot it with the fucking.
It should
movie.
get a best. And it should get a Best Original Score nomination just for bum ba da dum da da dum dum da dum da da dum da da dum 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 da da dum dum dum.
I've changed my mind. It should win Best Picture.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
Fuck, it's up there though, isn't it? It really is up there. I don't think it's not going to be my number one.
It's not going to be my number one.
It's not,
But it's very. It
is.
But I'd be very surprised if it's not in my top 5.
I mean, like top 3. You know what I mean? Like it's hell of a film.
Yeah. Anything else, Bex, that you watched on your
No,
solo?
the other one that I watched on my own, I didn't get to finish. So
Do you want me to do my solo one and then we can do our jointy ones?
go for it.
So I've only watched one solo film this week. Excuse me. I am the only person to rewatch this movie so far, I think. No one else. I think this movie has been forgotten about, and I don't know why actually, because it's kind of fun. I rewatched The Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's kind of fun to watch. Like, it's actually kind of fucking fun. Ben Stiller looks like he's clasping onto this thing of, I'm still relevant, right? I'm still funny, right? Jonah Hill genuinely seems like he's stoned throughout the entire fucking thing.
Nice.
Richard Ayoade just seems like he's gone, I'm friends with Ben Stiller. I'm on British TV. And Vince Vaughn just seems like having a fucking great time. Like, a really fun time. Like, he just seems like he's just kind of pleased to be there.
Yeah. That's nice.
But he's very fucking funny in it. It's... Billy Crudup turns up for no reason whatsoever. And he's in, like, 3 scenes as the neighbour that, you know, that you're going, oh... They all think it's him, but it's clearly not. But what's he up to? And it's just that he's running an orgy in his basement.
Oh God, yeah, it's that one.
That
Isn't
feels very Billy Crudup.
It does feel very Crudup, yeah. Rosemary DeWitt's in it, and just kind of you watch it going, she should be in a lot more. She's really fun. She's like that generation's Helen Hunt. That you look at going, she's actually quietly really fucking hot and just a lot of fucking charisma
Yeah.
in it. I really enjoyed my time rewatching The Watch. It's just a good, fun, stupid movie.
Good.
That isn't too stupid that I don't think that I think that it's just me who thinks that it's fun. Like
Well, it is just you that thinks it's great because it's only
No,
you
because
that's rewatched it.
It's only me that's rewatched it, but
What
I
you're
do
saying is
think that if
people
other
would.
people rewatched it, they'd
Yeah.
go, "Do you know what? Yeah, all right, that's kind of a fun movie." I'd class it up there with things like The House, as people should just give it a bit more of a
yeah.
watch.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. And what did we watch together, Becky? We watched Strange World, didn't we?
We did, yes. I was very anticipating about this coming onto Disney Plus because I really wanted to watch it. So
Yeah.
Hope I didn't overegg it. What do you think?
I really liked it. Really liked it.
Really charming.
Oh
film.
yeah.
Yeah.
I specifically like the idea that it's set as humans, but it's not technically kind of set in this world.
No.
But I like the fact that in that world, it films it quite well, where being gay isn't a thing; it's just a thing that happens, and that is emphasised by the fact that the granddad character doesn't make a. It doesn't become a wait, you like a boy or anything like that he's cool
Absolutely could have been so lazy there,
Yeah.
and it doesn't.
But he just straight away goes into, well, what you need to do is you need to put him in peril. It's like boys liking boys, girls liking girls, girls liking boys, girls liking boys. It's just a thing that's there. There's no parameters to it. It just exists within that strange world. And I really like that.
I don't know because I don't think that exists within a lot of people's reality.
It does, but within this world, I just don't think it's.
I don't think you can necessarily say that it's universal. I think they're just quite a sort of relatively tolerant family. Like, bear in mind, everyone that you see him interacting with about that is family.
Yeah.
And they just don't give a shit. Like, if, for example, if Isabel came to us and told us about her crush and it was, oh yeah, I've got a crush on Linda, let's say. I don't know why Linda. It's not. It would just not be a thing. Whereas if she went and told someone,
I mean, the fact that Linda's clearly in her 80s,
Yeah.
it might be a bit of a thing.
Oh, how old's Linda? But yeah, I think it's maybe more that rather than because it's set in a different world. Let's say. I think you've got to give credit to the people that it's portraying more than the world that it's set in.
There's that, but I think it's. I like my way of looking at it.
Okay.
So fuck you.
It should just how it fucking should be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the amount of fucking people that have got their panties in a bunch about how woke this movie is and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, what? Because it's got a gay character and he plays a card game where there's no baddies. What the fuck? That's just Gen Z for you.
The problem is woke has now become a buzzword for people who want to say something nasty about something, but they don't actually want to say something nasty. If anyone ever uses the phrase, "Oh, it's just a bit woke," it's a bit like, "Oh, you're a fucking idiot then."
Yeah.
No. The next question should be, all right, what does woke mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Straight up, straight up. If anyone were to ever say to me, that's a bit woke, I'd be like, all right, what does woke mean then? And I fucking guarantee it will basically be something that doesn't vibe with them.
Yeah.
But it's a cultural issue that doesn't vibe with them, and it will be woke.
Yeah, it's just it's the current fucking culture war buzzword.
Do you know what though? If it's very, very small comfort, but the most streamed thing on Disney Plus right now.
Oh, I love that.
Is apparently Strange World.
Yeah.
Apparently it's doing really well on Disney Plus. That's something at least.
Yeah.
Too bad Bob fucking Chapek thought the theatrical release was bullshit. So
It's a real
didn't even
shame.
really.
Yeah.
In terms of just very quickly, mild side tangent here, right? Of weirdness of things that are streaming really well. So the number one movie on Netflix at the moment is Glass Onion.
Oh, okay.
And it's already there. I think third most watched movie they've had on there, which is fucking great. The number 2 is Knives Out. That makes sense. The number 3 is White Noise. That makes sense. Do you know it's the fourth most watched movie on Netflix at the moment in the UK?
What?
Wrong
Del
Turn.
Toro's Pinocchio.
Nope, Wrong Turn.
Wrong Turn.
Not like the most recent Wrong Turn, the original Wrong Turn. It's odd how well liked that movie is.
Yeah, it's good though.
It's such an oddity
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
of that movie.
Fair play.
Sorry, I really enjoyed Strange World. It's got a really nice animation style to it.
Yep.
You know, it's clearly trying to say things about environmental issues and has all of that within it, but it doesn't ever feel like it's lecturing you.
No, it doesn't.
You know, there's a Fern Gully-esque element to it. In the sense that it still manages to be quite fun. The Splat character it's not just a toy that you're looking at that they can market. It actually it has a really fun personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I don't
there.
know. I don't really like the whole cute sidekick creature thing.
I don't normally, but I thought that had a fun personality to it that was there. But yeah, I just had a really good time with it. Really nice. We watched it on New Year's Day morning, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, no, lunch. We watched it with lunch, didn't we?
Lunch, yeah.
Yeah, watched it with lunch. I think that it's kind of like a perfect time to watch it. That.
Some slight breaking news. No, it's not really breaking news. It's just a quote that I thought was quite funny. Dave Bautista on his Marvel exit.
Oh, what's he said?
There's a relief that it's over. It wasn't all pleasant. I just don't know if I want Drax to be my legacy. It's a silly performance. I want to do more dramatic stuff. I could give a fuck about being a movie star.
I very much like the fact that Batista has you get the feeling that Rock looks at Batista and just goes, "Fucking prick."
Yeah.
He's out there doing Dennis Villeneuve movies, and he's in the new Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
And he's doing dramatic things really quite well. And he's approaching it from all the right angles.
Well, he's been talking about it quite a lot recently, hasn't he? Because he's been saying, he wants to be a proper dramatic actor. He doesn't want to be a movie star. He wants to be an actor.
Yeah.
But looking like he looks, it's difficult because he's not your everyman kind of shape, is he? And so he keeps just getting cast in certain types of actiony kind of roles.
But he does seem to now be purposefully going, do you know what? I could quite easily take a bunch of paycheck action movie roles, and I'm not going to, because that's it. I can't then. I have to stay looking like this for the next 15 years. I can't be asked.
Good for him. Love it.
Yeah, it comes across as a pretty good dude as well.
Mm-hmm.
What was the next one we watched, Becky?
Random choice from you, but apparently not random if you're privy to the boy chat.
Yep.
We watched Doc Hollywood.
Yep.
For some reason, I still can't really understand your reasoning.
So the route from this came from Jordan McGrath. Was watching My Cousin
friend
Vinny.
of the show,
Friend of the show, John, yeah. Was watching My Cousin Vinny and was commenting on it. And then myself and Mike got involved in the conversation and was saying that that era of sort of very late 80s but more early 90s of just not even rom-coms, but just entertainment films. You had a spate of them.
Yeah.
That were really fun and entertaining, and we got talking about Doc Hollywood as one of them.
Frothy.
Yeah, just inoffensive, not cynical, quite nicely shot, often set in small town America.
Yeah.
Sorry. with usually like fish out of water ones.
Yeah.
And there was quite a lot of them, and they were quite fun. Yeah, they didn't have that. They hadn't quite hit the Gen X cynicisms that were to come.
Yeah.
And this was one of them. You know, you've got a young hotshot doctor who's on his way to be a plastic surgeon, who by accident gets stuck in a small rural Americana because he happens to run over a fence.
Avoiding a cow. Yeah.
And gets community service being a doctor.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, but the thing about it is, you know, at first you're introduced to him and he is cocky and a bit of a dickhead. But then you get to know him and go, well, actually, he's not that much of a dickhead. He's very much pretending to be. He's leaning into being a dickhead. But then you also very much can see and go, do you know what? That town does seem like it could be quite nice to live in.
Yeah.
You know, to a weird extent, we've kind of got an odd version of it here.
Yeah.
Where we live, we've come from living in a not a big city, but a moderate-sized city, but a very cosmopolitan city.
Yeah, yeah.
To living in a
village,
small rural village
that's
also quite cosmopolitan. And yeah, but it's still quite fun, quite charming.
It's good. It's different.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's just a good amount of fun, and it's Michael J. Fox being Michael J. Foxy.
Very charming.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Very much
It's
enjoyed.
really, really good rewatch, actually.
Yeah. What have you been watching, Ian?
Okay, so obviously we talked about RRR. So yeah, a few things. So I rewatched, and apologies, I'm just going to mute for a second. You didn't need to hear that at all. Hang on, there's another one coming. Hang on. Deary me, I'm so sorry. I don't know why people listen to us. My God. All right, sorry. So, yeah, I re-watched Michael Bay's triumph of cinema, Ambulance. Now, Patrick Willems, YouTube extraordinaire, has done a marvellous video this week around Ambulance, and this film, it's not gonna be in my top 10. It's not a surprise. It's not a disappointment. You know, so I'm not going to talk about it in that show. But my God, what a fucking picture! Okay, that's great. That's terrific. Just what a picture. I'm so annoyed that this did badly. This film is manic. It's so high intensity for all of it. Even when there's people talking to each other about things, they're in a very fast moving ambulance.
Yeah.
And it rules. I completely forgot that at one point Jake Gyllenhaal runs someone over. That person then comes halfway through his windshield, and then Jake Gyllenhaal, while driving, has to punch the shit out of that guy while the guy's trying to attack him. It is amazing. And like Willems said, there's none of the Michael Bay ickiness. Like, it likes the look of Eiza Gonzalez, but it's not leering at her.
Yeah. There's no fucking shot. There's no drone shot that's following her ass for 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It appreciates her look and nothing more, and that's spot on.
But it appreciates in equal measures Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen's looks as much, if not more.
Yeah. I mean, shit, man. Jake Gyllenhaal in a cashmere. Fuck me.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah.
Powerful image.
Absolutely. It's got gross shit in it, but it's not necessarily for comedy. Like the bit where the guy, like, they're operating on the guy and his spleen ruptures and the blood just fucking spurts out all over the place. I mean, it's incredible. I watched part of this in front of Lottie as well, which was probably not the best idea, but I told her to look away at moments. And she wanted to look away at moments as well, you know. And she, to be clear, she has Bluetooth headphones on. She's not listening to any of it. And the thing is, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't watch an awful lot because she insists on sitting in the living room all the time. She won't go anywhere else. So, but yeah, it is a stunning bit of work. The drone camera work is insane. And the 4K disc is chef's kiss. Looks fucking amazing. Amazing. That is a hell of a film. I love the fact as well that they set up Jake Gyllenhaal's crew, and in like 25 minutes into the film, they're all either dead or arrested. And it's just like, you're just with them. It's great. It's great. I'm sad that the dog dad dies. At least I think he dies. It certainly looked like he died. That was sad. Like Michael Bay's actual dog as well, that big dog.
Michael Bay likes to get his own dogs in movies.
Love it. I love it. Just the fact that they reference both The Rock and Bad Boys in like 2 minutes. Brilliant. So, Ambulance fucking slaps. Okay, so also watched Ticket to Paradise. So we didn't go out on New Year's Eve because Lots wasn't feeling going to the party that we were going to. There were other kids there, but it was what it was. So we watched Ticket to Paradise. So finally caught up with this. Old Parker's follow-up to Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. And George Clooney, Julia Roberts. There's not an awful lot to say about Ticket to Paradise. It's charming. It's really, really charming. And it is nothing more than that.
Is it worth
That's all
time?
you want. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Because all you want from that film is for those people to be charming. And it is.
I will watch that, yeah.
We're already looking at going to Bali next year. Think it's going to happen. And hell yeah, Bali looks great. Politics, not so much, and we've got to wrap our heads around that. But it's a funny film. It whips along. It's about an hour and 45. No longer than you need it to be. Does not much that surprises, but yeah, it's charming. There you go. It's Ticket to Paradise. It's exactly what you think it is.
Nice.
And my last one. So, New Year's Day. I committed. I watched the untold story of Whitney Houston in Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
I Wanna Dance with Somebody. I did it. I watched all near 2.5 hours of I Wanna Dance with Somebody. So, written by the guy who wrote Bohemian Rhapsody, Anthony McCartan. And starring Naomi Aki from Star Wars Rise of Skywalker as Whitney Houston. And this film is not very good. Shock. So, Naomi Aki, I think, is very good. She's better than the material. There is a sense that she wants to be more powerful than she is, and kind of more of a dick than the film allows her to be. But this is a film that has Whitney Houston's music in it, and feels like it's trying to please several masters. You do get that Whitney Houston was bisexual, and that basically to have a career she had to give up a partner. But the film doesn't really like put her to the test for that. I don't know the real life story, I'll be clear, but the girl who's her partner basically becomes her personal assistant and just starts having relationships with other people, and they're both absolutely fine with each other. Maybe that happened in real life. It feels very clean, but hey, maybe. Bobby Brown. So you know, Popstar Never Stop Never Stopping.
Yes.
That guy in it who starts touring with Connor. Something the something.
Oh yeah.
That Bobby Brown in this is basically him.
Okay.
And it was odd. It felt like that guy was modelling his performance on him from Popstar. And it's odd. And yeah,
Hunter the Hungry is
clear.
called.
Hunter the Hungry, that's it, yeah. Yeah, he may as well be Bobby Brown. And it's odd because they go... It's never shown that Bobby Brown gets her into the crack.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like she just starts... There's a crack pipe in one shot. It's like, oh, okay, that's happening then, is it? And towards the end of the film, she basically has a conversation with him where it's just like, it's not your fault. I would have done it anyway. You were just there. And it's a bit, okay, really? All right. Because the film's basically gone from, oh, she likes a bit of a drink and Stanley Tucci has to take it away from her, naughty, naughty. The odd shot of her smoking weed, to, all right, she's got a crack pipe in her drawer. There is one scene where she appears to be cracked out, where she's in her attic and her mum finds her, and there is stuff drawn on the walls that kind of basically looks like In a Quiet Place, where it's like sound plus, what is it in A Quiet Place? They've got something really stupid written up there, like sound equals death or something like that. It's very, very silly production design. Is it sound or something? It's like that, but on the wall of Whitney Houston. And it's just... There's a scene between Whitney Houston and her dad, which appears to be the last time that she sees him, where he's on his hospital bed, where she rushes to him. And then they have a very dramatic conversation about, like, who owns her rights or something. And basically, every single conversation in this film doesn't feel like it ever happened. There's this semblance of truth. Like, the general structure of, she had a girlfriend. Clive Davis was her record producer. Oh, by the way, played by Stanley Tucci. Produced this film. Makes clear early on, I don't have anything to do with my artists' personal lives. He actually says that. It's like, I will help you achieve your goals, but I won't have anything to do with your personal life. Which is basically the producer of the film going, it's not my fault she started doing crack.
Yeah. Wow.
There is a scene in it where there's a song that she did later on in life. I think it's not right, but it's okay. Yeah. I think that's it in this moment, where literally there's a deleted scene that shows her doing some sort of drug, because the scene is she knocks on Clive Davis's hotel room. He opens up. She's like, I knew you'd be up because you're always awake. Play me something. I've got to be able to do something. I need to do a new song. I need to do a new album. And he plays like dun 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 dun, and she's like, yeah. And it's basically saying, if Whitney Houston is high, she's really good at picking tracks. That appears to be like what the film is saying. It's just really airbrushed, where not a moment of it rings true, but at the same time it feels like you're doing an exam on Whitney Houston and you looked at her Wikipedia. It's such a weird feeling. And then the end of the film. So what I thought was going to be the last scene, I was like, that was interesting, is her in a hotel bathroom. She's running a bath and she's about to do some drugs. And she's singing to herself. Whitney Houston, drug-induced accidental overdose in a bathtub. She's singing to herself and it's flashing to previous moments in her life. And it cuts to black. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And it fades up. And they've been doing this thing through the film, where at the start of the film is her preparing to take the stage at the 94 American Music Awards.
Yeah.
And then it cuts and goes back to her past life. And then there is a scene about halfway through the film where her composer is saying, I think you should do this medley. It's these 3 songs. She's like, that's insane. The vocal range, the low and the high, no, that's not going to happen. You forget about it. So at the end of the film, it cuts to black, and then it ends on her doing this whole medley. And it's the Band-Aid thing from Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
They want to leave you on a high because the end of the story is sad. So then you've got her doing this bravura holy shit medley, and then it's like footage of the actual Whitney Houston, and titles coming up on the screen saying like she died blah 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 of an accidental a drug induced overdose in a bath. And it's like, all right, look, I get why you're trying to leave us on a high, but this is a fucking intrinsically sad story. I just, you know, just leave people on that note. And also, I Want to Dance with Somebody is an insane title for this film, when I Want to Dance with Somebody is maybe the only one of Whitney Houston's hits that was dancey, and it was one of her earliest songs.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the film at the end is like she was known as The Voice. Just call it Whitney Houston, The Voice, because the entire film is about her voice and how good her voice is and how her career faltered when she couldn't hit that vocal range.
It does seem a little bit like they've gone onto her Spotify and gone, right, Whitney Houston, and gone, right, yep, I Want to Dance with Somebody. That's her most popular song on Spotify. That's what we're going to call it.
It's ridiculous. And the fact that they've had to kind of retitle the film Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody, because people weren't getting that it was about Whitney Houston, just says it all. It's a bad film. It's a bad film, and that's such a shame. But yeah, it's bad. It's long. Stanley Tucci basically plays stereotypical rich Jewish man. And I actually think it's an embarrassing performance as well. Bad film. I'm pleasantly surprised it's making fuck all.
Good.
There we are. So, moving on to better things. 2023, my friends. 2023. So, looking at the spreadsheet, you know, we've talked about the big ones. But I want to kick off by talking about a film called Silent Night. This is John Woo's return to American cinema. Ooh. A film where the protagonist, played by Joel Kinnaman, Doesn't say anything.
I really hope he doesn't say anything then, like, at all. They don't, like, cop out towards the end.
Apparently not.
And when is this due in?
Don't know.
Oh,
Sometime this year. A lot.
It's not got a date yet, yeah.
A lot of it is sometime this year. I mean, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go through this list of undated. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So we got The Killer, which we know about.
The Killer is
New
actually
Fincher.
going to be next year now. It's been announced, apparently.
So there's been a bit of confusion about that. There was a tweet
Sorry.
the other day saying next year, but then people were like, hang on a second. Don't think you got your facts straight there.
Oh, is that...
Did you actually mean this year? And there's not been any... Yeah. So, we'll see. Asteroid City, new Wes Anderson. We've already talked about that. Killers of the Flower Moon, Operation Fortune. Axel Foley, Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Yeah.
Why is it called that?
I don't know.
I really need a slowed down, mournful version of Axel F.
Yeah.
That needs to be the trailer. Judge Reinhold back in it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in it. I bet he's a secret bad guy.
Yes, without question.
Who's directing this fucker?
Mike Mully.
Who the fuck's that?
He did... Nothing that I can find. Commercial director.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's fine. Everyone's got to start somewhere.
Fair enough.
Okay, so there's that. We've got Berserker, which is adaptation of a comic book written or co-written by Keanu Reeves, which is to star Keanu Reeves. The comic follows an immortal warrior known as Berserker as he fights his way through the ages.
All right.
I mean, that's emphatically, yep, why not?
Yep, does look on the cover like Keanu Reeves, so go on then.
Absolutely. Extraction 2, Chris Hemsworth doing more extracting.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Havoc, so this is Gareth Evans's new film. Was shot in Wales like 2 years ago, starring Tom Hardy. Netflix film due out this year.
So it's not a remake of the Anne Hathaway and Bijou Phillips movie from the mid-noughties?
Don't believe so.
Right. Cool. No Freddie Rodriguez.
We've got... Nice. Bradley Cooper's follow-up to A Star Is Born, the Leonard Bernstein biopic Maestro.
Very much looking forward to that.
Yep. That'll be Netflix. That'll be towards the end of the year. David Gordon Green's first part of his new Exorcist trilogy is due this year. Leslie Odom Jr. is playing the father of a child possessed. Ellen Burstyn is already in it. Is in it and has already shot her bits apparently.
Nice.
Brandon Cronenberg's Infinity Pool,
Like
which is already screened to critics.
Becky film.
Playing Sundance, already screened to critics, is currently under embargo, but I've got a feeling that will be around sooner rather than later. Paul Schrader's Master Gardener has been playing festivals, has not received a wide release yet, so that should be interesting. That is Joel Edgerton and Sigourney Weaver, if memory serves.
Yeah. Why not with Schrader? He seems to be in a bit of a mojo place at the moment.
Indeed. Right, Mark, I don't know whether you've had a look at this yet, but I've put in the spreadsheet lift, brackets, feels like the biggest Mark film of all time.
Saw that.
It's a Netflix film, if that helps you Googling.
Yeah, so who have we got here? We've got Sam Worthington, Vinny D'Onofrio, Kevin Hart, Bern Gorman's in it. Nice. Yeah, I'm down with this. Yeah.
Take a look at the plot.
Was a female master thief and her ex-boyfriend who steal 100 million in gold bullion being transported on a 777 passenger flight. Yeah, down with clown.
Apparently,
Billy
it's a
Magnuson's in
heist.
it.
It's a heist. Of contents of an airplane.
Yeah. Sold. Jean Reno's there as
Let's
well.
go.
Paul Anderson
Luca
shouts like a
Guadagnino
prick.
is. Luca Guadagnino is back with Challengers, a tennis drama starring Zendaya.
Tennis movies never fucking make money.
No, they don't. Let's see how this does. Even a film literally called Wimbledon didn't do that well.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi is back. So is Michael F. Fassbender after becoming a Le Mans driver with Next Goal Wins, which is a remake of a foreign language film about a female football team, if memory serves.
Indeed, yeah.
See how that goes. Ari Aster's previously titled Disappointment Boulevard is now Beau is Afraid, even though the poster would make you think the film is called Joaquin Phoenix.
Did you see that poster, Bex?
No.
Just Google the poster for Beau is Afraid. It looks like the film's called Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes, it does look like that. Yeah.
Yep. Weird poster. But yeah, apparently Ari Aster has been turning in cuts that are like 4 hours, but now he's got it down to around about 3. Feels like it's blank check. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, go on. Man.
Okay. Maxine is due at some point this year. The end of the X trilogy that Ty West has been making. Pearl likely to feature in my top 10 at the end of the year, so really looking forward to Maxine.
Nice.
Ridley Scott's Napoleon, Joaquin Phoenix and Vanessa Kirby.
I mean, Ridley Scott's Napoleon. Fine. I'd fucking go on then.
Absolutely. Hayao Miyazaki's How Do You Live is due this year.
Next.
Let's find out how we live.
Let's have a look. Oh, ouch.
He keeps on retiring and then coming back.
One that
If he does do that.
Yeah. One that I think is very high on Becky's personal list, Salem's Lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you rereading that? On a stand you're rereading, aren't you?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Always keen for a new Stephen King adaptation, though. Very exciting.
Who's in that one?
Let's have a little look.
Fucking Lewis Pullman.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm down with clown with that.
All through
Down to Clown.
Yeah.
Getting into some where on occasion I've written entries and not necessarily remembered what the details are, but let's see what we get. So, David Lowery's Peter Pan and Wendy. Jude Law is Captain Hook. That's going to be interesting. That is Disney Plus. We'll see what happens there.
I'm just... You had me at David Lowery.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he did Pete's Dragon, so there you go.
Great.
Wes Anderson has another film coming this year, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, kind of an episodic thing based on a Roald Dahl book.
Wes Anderson's got 2 movies out this year.
Yeah, but to be fair, Asteroid City was shot like a couple years back, so it's more delayed
One
shit.
is based on a Roald Dahl story.
You fucking hate Roald Dahl, don't you?
I fucking despise Roald Dahl. Deeply.
That's gonna
Yes.
go well.
Wes Anderson and Roald Dahl.
Yes, a man who literally wore his anti-Semitism on his fucking sleeve like a motherfucker, yet we think that children should be taught the wonder of his books.
They're pretty good books.
You know what, as well? We got 2 films by Yorgos Lanthimos due this year.
Oh, fucking great.
Poor Things and And. The synopsis for And sounds fucking mental. A woman is implanted with the brain of her unborn child or something.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'm a little bit like that as well, and I like Lanthimos. Right, Sofia Coppola is back with Priscilla. So, this is... Fuck me, who's playing Priscilla?
Is it a Priscilla Presley biopic, or is it just...
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Oh, fair enough. I was
Yeah.
kind of half joking there.
Fucking, who is it? Based on her memoir starring Callie Spaney. Oh shit, she was the lead in The Craft Legacy.
Oh.
And stars Jacob Elordi as Elvis. The kind of like the blonde-haired dude who's getting with Ana de Armas in Deep Water.
Cool.
Yeah. He's in Euphoria as well, which is why people know him. All right, I'm gonna run through some of these ones. The woman who directed We're All Going to the World's Fair, which I've not seen and Noel hated. I saw the TV Glow. It's got a good cast though. Sean Durkin is back with The Iron Claw, starring Zac Efron.
Yes.
He's playing a wrestler.
Fucking course he is.
Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, he's playing Kevin Von Erich. No idea who that is. Good stuff. Okay, we got Love Lies Bleeding. Why did I put that on this film 2022? Is this the one that's... Oh, okay, so this is Rose Glass's follow-up to Saint Maud, starring Kristen Stewart, Ed Harris, Jenna Malone, and... it's the Dave Franco. It's not the James, don't worry, folks. A romance fueled by ego, desire, and the American dream.
Go on then.
Sounds a little bit like She's Gone. Well, I didn't like horror anyway, but it allowed me to make a movie and go to other things. So that's Love Lies Bleeding. The Governess. I can't remember what this is either. Let's have a look. So this is Joe Talbot's follow-up to The Last Black Man in San Francisco, starring Lily Rose Depp and Renata Rensva from The Worst Person in the World. Based on Anne Seri's novel of the same name, the story follows 3 rebellious governesses who upend the household they work in. Inspiriting the minds of the boys in their care, igniting the imaginations of the bohemian couple who employ them, and abandoning their charges for erotic adventures. That sounds like it will make no money. Alex Garland's follow-up to Men, Civil War. So this stars Kiki Dunst. What is this about? If I go Civil War film, it's absolutely going to do
Plot
just
under wraps.
An upcoming epic action film, also starring Callie Spaney. All right, fair enough. Zone of Interest is Jonathan Glazer's first film since Under the Skin.
Ooh.
So that is definitely of interest.
Yeah.
A Nazi officer falls in love with the woman of the commander of the Auschwitz concentration camp.
Yeah, all right.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Michael Mann's Ferrari is hopefully due this year, but STX Films, the distributor, are having some trouble.
What a
So,
surprise.
who knows? Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But Adam Driver as Enzo Ferrari, if I remember correctly. Okay, we've also got Todd Haynes' new film, May December. 20 years after their notorious tabloid romance gripped the nation, a married couple buckles under the pressure when an actress arrives to do research for a film about their past. Starring Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman. Good.
Yep.
I'm glad. Marielle Heller's Night Bitch, starring Amy Adams as a woman who thinks she's turning into a dog.
Amy Adams really needs a hit. Not even like a hit.
And I don't think it's going to be Night Bitch.
I think it's going to be Night Bitch.
Okay.
It's got Scoot McNairy.
I don't think it's going to be Night Bitch. What a name.
Deary me.
I'm looking forward to Night
Okay, Alexander Payne's... Oh,
I'm
sorry.
looking forward to Night Bitch.
Of course you are. You're an idiot.
Indeed. Alexander Payne has a new film coming out following up from Downsizing, The Holdovers, starring Paul Giamatti and Divine Joy Randolph. The disliked Deerfield Academy teacher Paul Hunnam is put in charge of supervising Angus, a smart and rebellious student unable to journey home for Christmas. Joining them is Mary, the school's head cook. Again, a lot of these films feel like they're not going to make a lot of money. Then we have a couple of biopics. Rustin, which is an upcoming American drama film directed by director of Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yeah.
I want to say Big Black Bottom, but I don't think that's right. I think it's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Black
George C. Wolfe. It's about the gay civil rights activist Bayard Rustin, who organised the 1963 March on Washington. So I'm sure that'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We have Shirley, which was a film starring Elizabeth Moss a couple years back.
Yeah.
And is not this one. So, what's this? A biopic about Shirley Chisholm, America's first black congresswoman.
And it's got soft voice Terrence Howard in it.
It does, but Regina King is Shirley Chisholm, so that's good. Directed by John Ridley. And finally, of this list, we have The Bike Riders. Now, what is this? Would help if I could spell The Bike Riders. Oh, it's Jeff Nichols' new film, his first since Midnight Special.
Ooh, that's quite interesting.
So, tells a fictional story inspired by the 1968 photo book of the same name, with a cast including Jodie Comer, Austin Butler, and Tom Hardy. It follows the rise of a fictional Midwestern motorcycle club. Seen through the lives of its members, the club evolves over the course of a decade from a gathering place for local outsiders into a more sinister gang, threatening the original group's unique way of life. That sounds alright.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Nichols, and then that cast, Michael Shannon, Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, Norman fucking Reedus, Boyd Holbrook.
Yep. Mike Feist. Shit.
Oh. And then another soft voice, Carl Glusman's in it as well.
Oh, it's good, that. Yep. So, those are the undateds. I feel like we've talked about a lot of the ones that are dated that are coming up, but I will say Patrick Wilson's Insidious 5 is due Patrick Wilson's directorial debut in July.
Can I point out that
The
we
Meg
predicted
2.
that?
What, that Patrick Wilson was going to direct
Yeah, we
it?
predicted that on the show.
Sounds about right. Ben Wheatley's The Meg 2 is due in August.
Still can't believe that's happening.
Yep, amazing. I feel like we've kind of talked about the other big ones to talk about through this lot.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that we've got Fast X next year.
Yeah, that's weird that we haven't had a teaser or anything for that yet.
No, it feels a little bit like that one's... I don't know. It's...
If it was gonna get pushed, I think it would have been by now.
Yeah. I get the feeling we might have an awful lot happen very fucking quickly on that. Like we might have a poster, a teaser, a trailer in like 4 days.
Yeah, quite. Well, let's see where we come back to next week. But yeah, there you go. 2023 is a shitload coming out.
Yeah. There's a... Oh, God damn. I'm really fucking pumped for this year.
And on that note, questions?
Yes, we do have some. I saw them earlier. So I asked the question of our audience. I think I might have asked this one before, but I asked it again because we were covering what we were covering, which was our question for you. Simply, what's your favourite disaster movie? Ethan and Bar, Volcano. It's a strong shout, that actually. Volcano's a lot more entertaining than I think people remember. Came out around the same time as Dante's Peak, which I think did better, but Volcano's the better movie.
Fair enough.
The Dudeness, Armageddon. It's simply perfect. Armageddon is a fun fucking movie. And Rick Kidd, I love disaster films in the 70s, e.g. Poseidon Adventure, Airport, Earthquake, etc. Dante's Peak and Volcano from the 90s were good. Two, my favourite overall is Town Inferno. Town Inferno is a fucking good movie. It's a really good movie.
I have to be honest,
Independence Day for me. Sorry.
Nice, strong show.
all of them, to be perfectly honest. I don't think I've ever met a disaster movie I haven't liked.
Yeah.
I just fucking love them.
Even the not great ones like Into the Storm, we
Yeah.
kind of dig, don't we?
Yeah.
Or Hurricane Heist.
Hurricane Heist, yeah. Yeah. Moonfall.
Yeah, Moonfall. I like a movie with a lot of weather in it.
You do like a weather movie.
I do like a movie with a lot of weather in it.
Actually, do you know what? There is probably one that I've met that I didn't particularly like.
What?
Don't Look Up. That's the only disaster movie I can think of that I've not liked.
But I don't think that's this. I think that's almost like an anti-disaster movie in a way.
Oh God, even that awful Mark Wahlberg one I quite enjoy.
Which one? The Happening.
Oh, is that always the teacher and it's the
Yeah.
trees?
All right. Yeah, you've ruined it for now.
What about the bees? The bees!
Yeah, and like there's an odd bit with Zooey Deschanel where she doesn't want to eat a bit of cheesecake because she thinks it might be cheating. It's what a piece of shit that movie actually is.
Alright, it's 2.
I'm gonna have to go Emmerich on this and vote The Day After Tomorrow and 2012.
2012, is that the John Cusack one?
Yeah.
That's really good, actually.
Could literally just I could watch those like every other week and never get bored.
No. Oh, that one that what's his face was in before he became really fucking irritating was good. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
San Andreas.
Yeah.
I like the fact that
I don't know if I'd be able to watch
has anyone
that
seen the interview bit where someone's interviewing Jake Gyllenhaal for Strange World, and somebody informs him, Dennis Quaid informs him that he literally has played his dad before in a film, and he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah,
That's
like,
good.
When?" It's like the day after tomorrow. He's like, "Oh my god, is that you?" And he's just like it's like we met like once, like
Yeah.
literally like one day, like for like an hour of filming, and did like one shot. He's like, "Oh man, that's cool."
Sorry, guys, I really need a pee. Keep going, but I really need a
Yeah.
pee.
So, yeah. Question. I'm going to ask the question now. Questions.
Ask the
Ethan
question.
Bar, What's your favourite cinema to visit outside of your locals?
Watershed in Bristol.
You're a big fan of that, aren't you?
I don't really have one.
Yep.
I'm going to go for the... I can't remember what cinema chain it is now, but the one whenever we go to Stockport with Noel, I can't remember what cinema chain it is now. It's a nice cinema, and it usually means I'm with, at the very least, Noel, but usually Noel, Jordan, and Ian. So it just is like it's as much the cinema, but the company that I know that I'm going to keep there within for that. That would be mine for sure.
I haven't been to many that aren't just like...
The Light, that is it, Ian. Yes, the Light in what is it? It's a nice cinema. It's like it's like an everyman, but not for dickheads. Rick Kidd, Happy New Year all. Having watched Spartacus and Happy New Year by the way, Spartacus and Cleopatra so far this year, is there a famous historical figure that you would like to see a film about? A famous historical figure I'd like to see a film about.
Harry Houdini.
Oh, like a proper biopic. That's interesting. Yeah, because there's not actually ever kind of fully been. I mean, there's been films about it, but not like a proper. This is the definitive one to look at.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on with that.
Ooh, that's a good shout. That.
The dude who invented the inside toilet. I want to see what challenges he had. Toilets inside, human waste is for the outside. How dare you!
I'd like to have seen Nolan just do a full Nikola Tesla movie with Bowie, but we won't get it now. Historical figure.
Tesla would still be a good, interesting one though.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, done well. Yeah.
Should get Tilda Swinton to play him. That's what she seems to do now. Just mops up roles that were originally intended for David Bowie.
Now, Rebecca. I'm not going to ask you what we're covering next week, Ian. I'm going to look at the spreadsheet.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to go, I know what we're covering next week. It is The Pale Blue Eye and either A Man Called Otto or The Enforcer.
I feel like it's going to be the Enforcer.
It's going to be The Enforcer, yeah. Because I
Right, can we just agree right now? None of us are that bothered by a man.
Yeah, I
called
don't want to
Otto.
see it. Like, I actively just don't want to watch it.
Alright, that's fine. Let's do the Enforcer. We're going to do
legitimately
the
don't know what it
pale
is.
blue eye and the Enforcer.
Yep.
Sorry,
I
Bex.
legitimately don't know what that is. A Man Called Otto.
That's weird because I've watched the trailer with you.
Evidently, my brain's just fucking wiped it immediately.
Just, I don't need a 2-hour movie where Tom Hanks is just miserable.
Tom Hanks is Harrison Ford in A Man Called
Yeah,
Otto.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah,
I'm quite intrigued by that Pale Blue Eye one.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Donna wants to watch it, even though she was a bit put off when I said it was a film, not a TV show.
So, the reverse Mark.
Yeah, well, they reversed me.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, reversing it, yeah. Yeah, right. I'm not hosting, so I don't need to do this bit.
Ian's glitched.
Yeah, I am hosting, aren't I? Right. Bex, see ya.
Bye.
Mark, ta-ra.
Bye.
Audience, love you. Mwah.